There is a quiet difference between looking at a cat and truly seeing one, and that difference often determines the depth of the bond that forms. Many cats are observed throughout the day. They are watched as they stretch, as they move from room to room, as they sit in windows or rest on familiar furniture. Yet being watched is not the same as being understood. A cat can feel the quality of attention directed toward them. They can sense whether your gaze is distracted or present, whether your movements are impatient or patient, whether your energy carries tension or calm. When a cat feels seen, something subtle begins to shift inside them. It is not dramatic or loud, but it is profound. Welcome back. In this episode, we are exploring what happens beneath the surface when a cat feels genuinely acknowledged, not simply noticed, but recognized in their emotional language. Recognition in small signals. Cats communicate constantly, though rarely in ways that demand attention. A slight narrowing of the eyes, a pause before entering a room, the way the tail rests low or curves gently upward. These are not random gestures. They are expressions of internal state. When these signals go unnoticed, a cat continues to operate cautiously, measuring whether their environment is safe enough to relax within. But when those signals are met with understanding, when a slow blink is returned gently, when space is respected instead of invaded, when their hesitation is honored rather than dismissed, the cat begins to register something important. They are not simply existing in the room. They are being perceived accurately. This recognition reduces the need for defense. A cat that feels misunderstood may remain guarded, maintaining emotional distance even in a loving home. Yet when their boundaries are read correctly and their invitations are accepted at the pace they set, tension gradually dissolves. Muscles soften. Movements become less calculated. Their presence shifts from alert observation to quiet participation. The softening of guarded energy. Many cats live in a state of mild vigilance. It is part of their instinctual design. They are both predator and prey, wired to assess changes in environment quickly. Because of this, their nervous systems remain finely tuned to unpredictability. When a human interacts without awareness of this sensitivity, even affectionate gestures can feel overwhelming. Quick reaches, loud tones, forced proximity, these things reinforce caution. But when a cat feels seen, when their subtle discomfort is noticed and adjusted for, they begin to recalibrate their expectations. Over time, this recalibration becomes visible. A cat who once remained at the edge of the room may settle closer. A cat who avoided eye contact may begin holding your gaze for a few seconds longer. A cat who startled easily may remain relaxed through small movements. These changes do not happen instantly. They unfold gradually through repeated moments of accurate emotional reading. Feeling seen is not a single event. It is a pattern of understanding built quietly over time. Eye contact and emotional safety. Eye contact plays a powerful role in this transformation. Direct staring can feel confrontational in the feline world, yet soft, relaxed eye contact can signal calm presence. When you slow your gaze, when you allow your eyes to rest gently rather than fix intensely, your cat perceives the difference. If they return that softened gaze, if they blink slowly or allow their eyes to close briefly in your presence, it is not accidental. It is a sign that they do not interpret your attention as threat. In these exchanges, something mutual forms. You are not studying them as an object. You are engaging them as a being, and they respond to that shift with visible relaxation. Their posture lowers, their breathing steadies, their tail rests without tension. What changes is not just behavior but atmosphere. The room feels quieter, not because there is less sound, but because there is less emotional friction. Proximity as a response to being understood. Physical closeness often follows emotional recognition. A cat who feels seen may begin adjusting their position in subtle ways. They may sit a little nearer during shared quiet moments. They may choose a resting place within your line of sight rather than beyond it. Some will eventually initiate gentle contact, brushing lightly against your leg or settling beside you without hesitation. These movements are not merely affection. They are responses to safety. When a cat senses that their internal state is understood, the need for distance decreases. They no longer need to maintain protective space as strongly because their signals are not being ignored. Even playful behavior can change. A cat who once engaged cautiously may begin inviting interaction more confidently, knowing that overstimulation will be recognized and paused before it becomes overwhelming. The emotional intelligence of cats. It is easy to underestimate the emotional awareness of a cat because their expressions are restrained. They do not exaggerate their feelings. They do not seek constant reassurance. Yet beneath that quiet exterior lies remarkable sensitivity. Cats read microchanges in voice tone, shifts in posture, fluctuations in daily rhythm. They notice when you are calm and when you are distracted. They feel when your attention is divided and when it is fully present. When that attention becomes consistent and respectful, when you respond to their cues rather than imposing your own pace, the relationship deepens into something stable. Stability is what allows a cat to relax fully, and relaxation is the clearest sign that they feel seen. It means they are no longer bracing for misinterpretation. The quiet transformation. Perhaps the most meaningful transformation occurs in cats who once seemed distant. A cat who stayed hidden during gatherings may begin remaining in the same room. A cat who resisted touch may lean gently into it. These shifts are rarely dramatic. They are subtle expansions of trust. They happen because the cat has learned that their signals are noticed. Their discomfort is not ignored. Their preferences are not overridden. Feeling seen does not mean being constantly observed. It means being understood accurately when interaction occurs. It means your pauses are respected, your boundaries are safe, your invitations are answered with patience. In that environment, a cat's personality unfolds more completely. Their curiosity grows. Their play becomes freer. Their rest becomes deeper. A shared language without words. What makes this bond powerful is that it forms without spoken language. It develops through observation, adjustment, and mutual awareness. When you respond gently to a flicking tail by giving space, when you notice a relaxed posture and remain calm, when you return a slow blink with your own, you are participating in a dialogue that requires no sound. Over time, that dialogue becomes intuitive. You begin to anticipate their needs. They begin to anticipate your steadiness. The space between you feels less uncertain and more familiar. In that familiarity, the cat no longer feels the need to guard as strongly. They exist beside you, not cautiously within your environment, but comfortably within shared space. When they test your attention. There are moments when a cat will test whether your attention is truly present. They may pause in a doorway and look toward you without moving closer, or sit quietly within view, waiting without sound. To someone distracted, it appears insignificant. But to the cat, it is a quiet inquiry. Are you aware of me? Do you notice my hesitation? Will you respond gently, or will you overlook it? When you acknowledge that pause with calm presence rather than urgency, something important is communicated. You are not forcing interaction, nor are you ignoring it. You are simply recognizing it. And in that recognition, the cat learns that their subtle expressions matter. Over time, these small tests disappear, replaced by a steadier confidence that they do not need to amplify their signals to be understood. Feels seen. When a cat feels seen, what changes is not only their behavior, but the quality of the relationship itself. There is less tension in the air, less hesitation in movement, more softness in shared moments, and perhaps most importantly, there is trust that does not need constant reassurance. It simply exists, steady and quiet. If you have noticed these subtle shifts in your own cat, if you have seen guarded energy soften into calm presence, then you have already participated in this transformation. You have offered something deeper than affection. You have offered understanding. And if reflections like this help you see your cat in a new light, consider subscribing and continuing this quiet exploration with us. Because sometimes the strongest bonds are not built through grand gestures, but through the simple act of noticing and allowing another being to feel fully seen.